Hello, I'm Elena Williams, and I'm here to introduce a new segment that we have here called the SWAC Coaches Chat. During this segment, we have the opportunity to speak with coaches from all across the SWAC pertaining to how they're dealing with this pandemic and looking forward to the future. Today, I had the opportunity to speak with Alcorn's very own football head coach, Fred McNair. Let's go check on him. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm doing good.
Tell us, how have you been during this quarantine? How have you been keeping yourself busy?
Well, it's been difficult times, with the coaching staff and everybody not around. It's kind of been a busy moment on the phone and on the computer and just doing some football stuff from home and
Yeah.
just keeping up with the kids and making sure they're doing the work before the spring went semester. So pretty much just doing that, and just keeping myself busy.
Oh, yes. So how have you been keeping your players motivated through all of this?
Well, I think the biggest thing is from each coach standpoint, just keeping the guys updated what's going on and just trying to do some football stuff with them
Right.
and the coaches and everybody else. So it's not hard to motivate kids once you've been with them for a while and you know their demeanor and everything. And but the guys, the group of guys that we got are very easygoing guys. So it's not very hard to motivate them. Once we get in the swing of the thing and just get them back on the field and on the playing surface.
Yes, that is great to hear that you have a team that cooperates. So how will not having spring ball rather affect the fall season that's coming up?
Well, the biggest thing is I think that what you miss out in the spring are some of those guys that coming in and especially the freshman that was redshirted last year and not being able to play as much and getting them some more reps during the course of practice in those situations. But the biggest thing is that you miss on is preparation for the spring going into the fall. So getting those guys in condition and getting them ready for the summer and all those kind of things that you miss out on, weights and running condition and stuff like that. You miss out on those opportunities. So
Right.
I think we've missed out on that as coaches. It's been around the young men and being able to coach them up and things of that nature. So we missed out on a whole lot.
Oh, yeah. So with that being said, how have workouts, diets, and team policies been enforced while your team has been quarantined? So how have you been able to enforce those things?
Well, the biggest thing I think Coach Maddox, our strength conditioning coach, has been doing a great job of communicating with the players and sending those guys some material to kind of do on their own. Some of not being able to go into the weight room and going into gyms here at home and those kind of things. It's been kind of difficult, but
Yeah.
some of the guys, the guys has been dedicated. I think I got a bunch of great guys that's dedicated doing their work on their own and making sure they stand in shape and even doing some lifting on their own at home. So whatever it is they need to get done. But I think Coach Mannock has done an extremely great job of keeping those guys up to date on what they need to do in terms of staying in shape.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure that every coach in the SWAC can agree that it has been very, very tough. So what are some good things that have come out of this pandemic and for your team?
I guess the biggest thing is just a communication deal as far as coaches and players now, being away from them and having to call them on the phone and do Zoom messages with them also as well. So those things there have been kind of great for us. So to have those things in line for us to kind of communicate with the players. So that's one positive thing that you get out of it. But during this pandemic, this COVID-19 moment, it's been kind of difficult for, I think, every coach in the world to
Yeah.
kind of keep updated with the players and the recruits that they signed in February. Keep those guys updated as well. So just a communication deal with us, I think, has been great for us. On a positive note.
And for people that have watched Alcorn football in the past, we can definitely say that teamwork has been a big factor with you guys' accomplishments. So how have you been able to keep your team together during this time? What are some things that y'all been able to do with team bonding?
Well, the biggest thing, the group of guys that we have, they're very group oriented. They together all the time. You don't see one guy by himself. They do team stuff together when they was in school in the spring and in the fall. So these guys are very good at keeping up with each other. Whether it's on the phone, whether it's through texting or some of that nature. My son himself, he played game with some of the guys. At home. They got this thing. So they stay in contact with each other. So I'm very pleased with that. The guys being able to stay in touch with each other that way.
Okay, so we know that you guys are defending SWAC champions. So how are you going to keep up with that expectation for this upcoming season? And despite these circumstances, what are you going to do to keep that title?
Well, the biggest thing is once we get this thing going back, get the guys together and get them to understand, our type of brand of football, the Alcorn brand of football, the way we've been playing for the last few years, into the winning tradition. And, I think that's embedded in these players that we have, the coaching staff as well. So they know what it takes to win. They know what it takes to be competitive. And they know what we stand for. So our goal is, once this thing is over with, to get the guys back together and get them in some shape and get them back to lifting the way they should be lifting during the off season and during the month of July without summer school and all that kind of stuff. Be kind of tough, but hopefully once this thing's over with coaches will get together and come up with some kind of goal to put together for these young men to reach it. And that's the thing we have to do is win championships.
And anybody that has the love of football knows that it's way much more to the game than just winning. So besides you guys becoming champions once again, what is something that you want your team to accomplish for this season besides that?
The biggest thing is I think once you got a group of guys that understand and they know how to win football games and win championships, just to make sure these guys graduate on time. We got a great group of guys that's very smart and in the classroom. And I was so excited, this spring when the grades came out of the guys, how well they did in the classroom, online and things of that nature. So I was very pleased with those guys. That's one thing that I tell you guys, make sure they get an education, so that's one thing that as a coaching staff that we really embed in the young men is to make sure they get a quality education from Alcorn State University and win championships. So that's one of the biggest things. That's one of the biggest things that we've accomplished this spring is making sure these guys did their work online.
So what are you personally looking forward to this season? I know just the feeling of being on the field will just make you have a breath of relief. So tell us, what are you looking forward to personally?
Just getting back with the coaching staff that I really love and the young men that we're mentoring and getting together and just the camaraderie that we have. It's a player coach's communication, and it's a relationship that we build with the young men that really I'm excited about. Just seeing these guys back face to face and being able to coach them up and just being around them. That's the biggest thing we love as coaching staff. Just being around the young men, knowing that we're making a difference in their lives as well, and making them great football players.
What adjustments will be made, rather, for camp this summer in order to keep your team safe and your coaching staff safe as well?
Well, the biggest thing is, just having them be able to make the right decision, once everything is over with, and make sure that we're thinking about the young men's health first and making sure they're protected and doing the things that we need to do as a coaching staff and as a university to make sure that everything is done on protocol, with the cleaning, with the sanitation and all that kind of stuff, that making sure these players are safe. And we have to do what we have to do to make sure that we're taking care of these young men as well as a coaching staff. So the biggest thing is, I guess, once everything is okay to get back to normal, make sure that we're doing the things to make sure these players are safe first.
Yes, absolutely. So what can fans expect for this, or expect from the Braves for this upcoming season? Because everybody's pumped. I mean, everybody's craving football, especially college football, since we've kind of been on a drought from the sports world. So what can we expect from the Braves this season?
Well, the thing is, I really expect to get back to work and get with the young men and just kind of get a feel on what they've been doing and just looking at them, see how their body changed as far as weight dropped or gain weight or whatever it may be, or how conditioned they're in. But the biggest thing is, everybody expects us to win. So that's our ultimate goal as a coaching staff, to put together a good quality football team, to go out and compete every Saturday. And make sure that we're doing everything the right way to win ball games for these fans that we have.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today. Please, please, please remain safe, positive, and healthy. And we look forward to everything that you guys have in store for this season. So thanks again.
Thank you, and thank you for having me, sweetie.
Take care.
Okay.